What's good, everybody? This is Cream Spin Show, and welcome to episode 5 of Building a Bridge, a guide to lucid dreaming. And today we're going to talk about the mild technique, the wild technique, the wake back to bed technique, and sleep paralysis. Ooh, scary stuff, right? So hopefully, if you've been following along, you've been able to lucid dream by doing a reality check in your dream. But if you're like me, sometimes you forget to do that. So what if you want to kind of keep your mind awake while you dream and be lucid once you start your dream? That's what this is for. So first technique we're talking about is mild, which is mnemonic-induced lucid dreaming. And the whole idea behind mild is as you're falling asleep, you're telling yourself in your head, okay, do a reality check, do a reality check. I remember that you will be dreaming. Remember that, tell yourself that you're dreaming, and you keep repeating that, and you'll keep doing that in your mind, and that will help you in recognizing that you're dreaming, doing a reality check. In some cases, like there have been times where I've done that, and once I'm in the dream, I instantly look at my hands, and I'm dreaming, and I'm lucid right off the bat. It's a fairly simple technique. I would definitely recommend trying that before trying wild or back to bed or wake back to bed techniques. So there you go. Quick technique. It works great. I definitely recommend it to any beginners. It's great. Next, we're talking about the wild technique, and this one is scary for a lot of people because it also involves sleep paralysis. And sleep paralysis is where kind of your body is asleep, but your mind is not, and you start seeing weird figures. So like a black hole will kind of hover in your room, and for me, a giant spider comes out of it and like crawls all over me and all that stuff. And a lot of people, that would scare you, right? But you just have to keep telling yourself it's a dream. It's not real. And then, hopefully you'll be able to essentially go into that dream. So the wild technique takes a lot of practice. Basically, you want to lie in your bed completely flat on your back. Some people like laying on their stomach more. Some people on their side. If that works better for you, great. The whole idea is that you don't move your body at all. You want your body to fall asleep while your mind stays awake. I know I can say it in like 2 seconds, but it's a lot harder than it is to do it. It's a lot harder to do it. So basically, what you want to do is you want to working while you're laying on your back, and that's what I'm going to be using for this whole example. Laying on your back, just laying on your back. What you want to do is working from your feet up. You want to tense your muscles, tense your feet, and then relax them. Right? You're putting your whole body to sleep. So, for example, let's take a look at my arm. Right? If I'm dreaming, if I'm practicing, I'll put it up like this. Really, really flexing here and right here, and I'll lay it back down. Right? So now it's tensed and relaxed. You want to do that throughout your body. And the whole idea is that you're keeping your body asleep. You're putting your body asleep while your mind is still awake. And it's a lot harder than it is because if you're like me, you're salivating quite a bit, and you swallow it. You have to swallow your saliva just to, make sure you don't like get your mouth all little. So, but that's the difficult part. You can't move. If you move, you ruin the whole thing, and you should start over. While you are wild, I tend to have my eyes closed. Some people can do it while their eyes are open, and that's great. And the goal here is that while you'll start to see images in your head while your eyes are closed. You'll start to see images. I think it's called hypnagogic. Oh god, I don't even know the term for it. Hypnagogic imagery or something like that. HYPOAOGNIC. I'm just taking a wild guess. Difficult word to pronounce. Anyway, for me, it's as if I'm looking at a photograph. And once I get to that point, that's when I can literally enter the photograph, and I will be lucid in the photograph in a dream world. Done. No reality check needed. It's a lot harder than just saying it. It takes a lot of practice. The trick is, while your mind's awake, you'll start to see imagery, and you'll just enter it. Either you can fall backwards in your mind and enter the dream. For me, kind of a tell if I feel my upper lip buzzing, kind of like, okay, I'm in that mind state. My body's asleep, and I'm in that state where, okay, I'm pretty sure I can dream now if I wanted to. And so you do that. You jump into that photograph, and you'll be lucid dreaming right off the bat. Some things, very difficult technique, very, very difficult. The whole idea of lying still, it takes time to develop that. And so when people say, oh, I've practiced lucid dreaming for a couple of years, I can do it pretty much whenever I want. They're using wild. That's how they do it. And that works. For me, it works. Of course, it's taken me a really long time to get to that point where it works, but I would definitely, if you had a choice between wild and mild, definitely pick mild first. Wild is difficult. It takes a lot of practice, and if you have, I'm sure you'll have questions on it. I have a whole thing written up about it, but as always, I do these commentaries and videos right on the fly. I don't type up anything beforehand. So now we'll be talking about the wake back to bed method, or WBTB. And the whole idea behind this is that if you happen to wake up a lot in the middle of the night, when you wake up, your mind is still kind of in limbo between that dream state and that awake state. So what you do, you don't get up, you try not to move as much as possible, and you go back to sleep and you start practicing wild, right? So stay still, look for the imagery developing in your mind. Remember that, keep telling your brain, okay, I'm gonna do a reality check, I'm gonna lucid dream tonight, I'm going to remember that I'm dreaming, etc., etc., and then hopefully you'll pop right back into that dream. It works for me. So, because a couple nights ago I had like 5 lucid dreams in a row because I kept waking up in the middle of the night, and I woke up, okay, I'm awake, I went back to sleep, and done. There are several more effective ways to do it. A lot of people, your brain tends to cycle every 3 hours in terms of, how the waves are going. So people set their alarm for 2.5 hours, or 2 hours and 45 minutes right before that dream cycle ends, or at the deepest part of that cycle when you're dreaming, and they go back to sleep, and since their mind is kind of in that zone, it's easier for them to lucid dream. Now, some difficulties, wild. Sleep paralysis is a big thing with wild. You'll see, if you tend to wild with your eyes open, which I've seen some people do, and when they're dreaming, their eyes close right away. But it's not for the faint of heart. For some reason, sleep paralysis tends to draw out really scary imagery, really, really weird things, and it really freaks some people out. And how to deal with that, you just gotta keep reminding yourself that it's not real, and you're dreaming, and nothing can hurt you, and you want to keep your mind at that state where it's not going to start freaking out. So there you go. That's kind of the basic techniques for it. Another one that a lot of people for some reason love is FILD, F-I-L-D, which is finger-induced lucid dreaming. So basically, if you're seeing, while you are falling asleep, if you see that imagery, right, you start moving your fingers like you're playing a piano. Not. This is too much. Don't do it like that. But while I can't really do it while, like, I'm videotaping it, I'm taping it, because you're just only supposed to do it like a little bit, which I know it's difficult. Yeah, so you're only supposed to do a little bit, and you pretend you're playing the piano, and then eventually you'll be able to play the piano in your dreams. So that's all I got. I think, let's see. I wrote up yeah, I guess that's it for this episode. So we talked about mild, filed, sleep paralysis, and wild. There you go. Not a bad start. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and I'll address it as in a next video, in another video. As always, thanks for watching. More play for sticking around. Feel free to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Any questions, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on the comment section, and I'll get to it as soon as possible. I do have a job, so it's difficult. Anyway, have a great day.